What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to be breaking down the 2J that I bought from the junkyard for this Cressida drift build. Please make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications to keep up to date on future episodes of me building this engine up. But other than that, I hope you enjoy the video. Let's get into it. So I'm going to get to work figuring out all this stuff and marking it, and I will come back to you guys once I've marked everything and we can get this wiring harness out of here and actually start tearing this thing down. So I've pretty much got to the point where if I want to get the rest of this wiring harness off, I gotta start getting all these brackets and the intake off. So that's what I'm gonna start doing now. Damn, alright. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this fuel line off. Just a couple 12s. And then once we get this guy off, we should be pretty much good to start pulling the intake off. Sweet, we should be good to start pulling this guy. So I took the upper plenum off, and now I'm realizing I probably gotta take the AC off so I can get the oil level sensor out. It's tucked way down here. It's just cracking and moaning as I push it up. It's probably just the sleeve stuff that's on it, but I need to take this out anyways, so I'm gonna get that out. So we're getting down to it. This lower plenum's being a little stubborn, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take the fuel rail off. I have everything disconnected, kind of stuck on there, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy off. So I got the fuel rail out. All the ends of the injectors came out except this one. It's kind of buried in there, so I gotta dig it out. You can see how that one got stuck in there, while all the other ones are nice and clear. So I'm gonna take a pick and just try to lightly grab that and pull it out. So I was trying to take this off forever, didn't realize there was a bolt pinned back behind this line, so got that off. So now it should just boom. There we go. Gonna go ahead and get this front timing cover off, water pump neck, or the water neck. Get this VVTI line off, this oil line. Get this power, or get this mount off. And there's some stuff on the other side I gotta get off. Alternator, water pump, all that stuff. Especially the water pump, because I'll show you guys better, but it's a little wonky. Go ahead and get these coil packs off. Just 3 10mm nuts, one on each. And then how these work is this middle one is 3 and 4. This front one's 2 and 5. And this rear is 6 and 1 for the pairing order. And I just went ahead and labeled each one. You can tell these have seen better days. They're just soaked in oil. And just making sure to put the bolts back where they came from, just so you're not keeping track of a million different things. Yeah, and I'm just looking down in here at some of these spark plug like holes, just fucking filled with oil. Piece of a connector, that's nice. I'm gonna go ahead and get this heater core water line off. Just 2 12s here and then another 12 over here. So this is another thing Pick and Pull did, is they just cut the O2 wires. I mean, we're going wideband anyway, So I guess we don't need all this O2 stuff, but it'd be nice to just have, you know, if someone was just swapping this into just their car. Luckily we aren't. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove a couple more things on this side of the engine. I'm gonna get this like oil filter housing off and go ahead and get this motor mount off. So this big old bolt is gonna be a 24, and I have it on the end of a big breaker bar. These things are usually on pretty tight. Oh, not bad. Boom. So there's the big old bolt, and then I'm just gonna put the sensor back in to the end, just for safekeeping. After taking this one off and taking this little nut off up here, you can just kind of pull on it and it'll pop right out. And there's a seal in here. So I'm gonna make sure I get that. Then we can go ahead and pull this motor mount off. And then just get these guys back in there. So now that I pretty much have everything off, that is, I don't know, just all the stuff. I'm gonna wait to take off the timing stuff for now, just because I don't have the tool to take the heads off, that weird little special socket that they need. So I'm gonna wait on that. But I'm gonna get these valve covers off and we can take a peek inside. So this is the intake side cam. Not too bad, honestly. A little bit of dark spots, but looks like they kind of kept up on their oil changes. I've definitely seen a lot worse of cams. But let's get this exhaust side taken off. I did see when looking through the back at one of the valve stem seals, it looked like it was leaking. So this thing was probably just burning a little oil. And here is the exhaust side. That's not that little thing right there. That's just a smudge of I don't know, dirt or something. Not terrible. You can see a little bit of lines in those. And that's just a little more dirt from taking off the valve covers. This side's honestly pretty clean. I can live with that. But I'm gonna go ahead and just throw on those covers because I don't want this thing just sitting open like it is. So I've got the engine timed up. I'm gonna go ahead and get this crank pulley off, the harmonic balancer, whatever you want to call it. But I have two flywheel or two flex plate bolts in the back and the crank. They're screwed in all the way. I'm gonna use a pry bar and just jam them in between and then put them right up against the stand, and hopefully I can break it loose by myself just with a breaker bar, and we might have to use a cheater. Just gonna try the impact before. Sweet, so I was able to break that crank pulley loose. I just put two flywheel bolts in, one right there underneath, and then one right there, and then it just went up against. Sweet, and then to get that pulley off, instead of just using some pry bars in the back like I usually do, I went ahead and rented just this little like puller set from O'Reilly's. There we go. Sweet, then I'm gonna go ahead and get this lower timing cover off so we can get to that water pump and get it off. Just a couple 10mm bolts. Sweet, and after you take that timing cover off, you wanna make sure you don't lose this guy. And then right down here, you can verify timing with this little mark on this gear here. Track it all the way down. There's a little indent, you can feel it with your finger. Another hash mark, and it matches up with that dot right there. All right, so I went ahead and got everything else off, and we just gotta get this tensioner off. I'm just gonna take them out nice and slowly, just in case anything wants to crack or bend or whatever. Sweet, and then your timing belt will just pretty much pull right off. So next I'll go ahead and take this tensioner off just right here. That tensioner still feels pretty good. And then I just put that bolt and washer back in there. So to get both of the sprockets off the gears, or whatever you want to call them, it's a 14, it's an H14, what if it would focus? An H14 to get the plug off to get to the bolt in there on the intake side for the VVTi, and then we're just going to use a crescent wrench, put it right there, and hold this puppy down while we reef on it. So there's the plug. So I finally got the VVTi off, the gear for it. It was super stuck on there. I've never had camshaft gear like stuck on there like that. It just took a lot of like working back and forth, tapping it, a little bit of prying here and there. But it finally just slid right off. It doesn't look damaged or anything. There's a little bit of scuffing on the cam, but nothing crazy that would cause that. It's just a super tight tolerance, I guess. But we're gonna move on to this side. I'm gonna take this valve cover off. Same thing I did over here, just use the crescent wrench, break that loose. This one should come off way easier. It just pulls right off. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get this rear timing cover thing off. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get this water pump off. And there we go. So this is where I'm at now. All the timing stuff on the front is off. All I have on right now is the oil pump just to keep it all sealed up. And I gotta take the pan and everything off still. But I wanna get the head dealt with. I wanna get these cams out of here and start getting the head off. I need to go buy like the special triple square or spline drive, whatever it be. But I'm gonna get these cams off first. I'm gonna do the intake side, the VTI side first, and then move on to the exhaust side. So I'm just gonna go by that and get this thing out of here. First, you just got to take the front kind of like cap things off and then do the actual caps. And I forgot to take the seals out. Go up underneath and pull it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and start removing this, following the sequence, and just remove them like half turn at a time, and then once they're all loose, I'll loosen them all up and then keep a couple, and then we'll pop it off. Sorry, I had to run up out of here because there was a couple wasps that flew in here, and they're still in here, but the video don't stop. But I'm super freaked out by wasps because when I was a kid, stepped on a huge wasp nest and a bunch of bark chips and just got destroyed by like 20 wasps, and it was just horrible. So yeah, I fear them. It's one of my I do not like them. Little story for the day. Alright, so we're all loose. I'm gonna go ahead and take these out one at a time. Alright, so I got all the cams and everything removed in the top end that I can remove now. Now I'm going to go ahead and break the head bolts loose. I'm going to be following that schematic right there and just doing about like a quarter turn or 90 degrees on each one, probably 3 or 4 times, just or until I feel comfortable and they all get kind of loose. And I'm going to be using a M12 triple square. Yeah, M12 triple square. I'll show it here in a sec. And here's that socket. Super weird size. I got this at AutoZone. It was about 16 bucks and it was like a little kit of 4. We may or may not be trying to return this after this job's done. So I'm gonna try to keep it nice and clean. So that was just the first pass, all 14, and those boys were on there. Holy shit. And it's just hot today. Whew. All right, back to 1. We'll go back through again. They should not be as tight this time. Oh no. Yeah, we're good. So that was the second pass. I'm gonna go by 1 more time just to make sure we're good, but after that we should be able to just zip them all out. Perfect, so they're all nice and loose. I'm just gonna go ahead and take them out in sequence just for safety. So we're moving these head bolts. There's a washer that goes underneath each and every one of them, so you just wanna make sure to get those guys out. So I just pried on both sides, and now this thing should come off. And these are pretty freaking heavy, so be careful. The old head gasket, the single layer, and then I'll bring you guys over here and we can look at the all the carbon deposits. So there's cylinder number 6, number 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can tell. Yeah. But now just knock it down in the fucking cooling jackets, but we got some cross hatching. It's not bad. Looks like a little chatter at the top there or something. A little more. Yeah, same spot pretty much on each one. So I'm taking this to a machine shop anyways. I'll have them deck it, this and the head, and I need to drop the pistons out of this, so let's get this thing flipped over. I'm gonna leave the crank in, just check the bearings in it. So I went ahead and got the motor flipped over, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this lower pan off. There we go. Nope. And there's our pan. Pretty clean, honestly. There's a little chunky of metal. Pickup looks fine for the most part. This is kind of where you got to be careful too, because you do not want to drop this lower one down in there. Got to get this little oil level sensor off too. And there she is. So a little bit of back and forth movement, but nothing up and down or side to side. So we should be good there. Last thing I need to do is get this oil pump off and drop all these pistons out. I've just got a little wooden handle here. And we'll go ahead and use it to pop this guy out. And try to not get wood literally everywhere. That bearing came off. And there's the number 2 piston. No slop in it, feels pretty good. So I'm pretty much just gonna go through to the same thing on each and every one of them. So there's all the pistons, the head, everything is taken out. Only thing I have to take off still is the rear main kind of seal assembly thing, the crankshaft, and the oil pump in the front. And that is it. But I will show you on some of these, they look pretty good. That one you can see a little wear on. One of these, there's a big old scratch. I'll find it here, but there's a big old scratch in one of them. There's a little bit of carnage on that one. This one's got a pretty good gash in it. I can feel it with my fingernail. So now let's go ahead and get this oil pump off. It's just a bunch of 12mm bolts, and it should just pull right off, and the 2 that were in the pan on the bottom. There we go. Perfect, and there's the water pump. Or, not the water pump, oil pump. So I'm going to go ahead and get these guys off. This is one of those times where I wish I had one of those ratcheting wrench. That'd be pretty sick. And this guy should not. It's not gonna. And there's that rear main assembly, you could call it. Wasn't too bad to take out. Be better if I had it off of the stand, could actually get in there. So that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next video where we're gonna be cleaning this guy up, painting it, and just getting all these bolts out of here, getting these sensors done. But if you guys did enjoy, please leave a comment down below, let me know. Like, subscribe, it helps more than you can imagine. But again, thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. Peace.